Good evening.
How are you guys? We're back. Two old men.
Is our buddy Gus up?
I don't know. Can everybody hear us? That's the question.
Eh.
Now we got it covered. We have
Do you want to
lights.
hear us?
I know, that's right. We have lights charged, cameras plugged in, computers plugged in. We're hardwired.
Wi-Fi is on.
So if you can hear us, I think we might be good for the night.
Good deal.
And maybe we do the Jerry Lewis marathon.
I'm in.
A little bit so she can hear us.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Way to go, a little bit.
So I know you had a lot going on this week.
It's been a little busy.
What was up with your week?
Well, I mean, just we had the kids this weekend, so we just been cleaning house and trying to straighten up. Got a birthday party tomorrow.
Okay.
Our youngest grandchild turns 1 yesterday, but we celebrated tomorrow. Happy birthday, Olivia. Trying to get all the first day of school forms and just trying to take care of back to school stuff. And
That's one thing I don't miss. All
And then-
those forms.
And then Mary's company, long story short, Friendship is going to be is the new management company for Richfield Retirement out in Salem.
Okay.
And I think the merger, or whatever they're calling it, happens in October.
Okay.
So,
That's pretty exciting, especially for Mary.
oh yeah. It is
moved
kept
here, right? Is
Right.
that the whole reason? Okay.
Well, I mean, a fair bit of it. Mary just enjoys her job, enjoys who she does it with for the most part. And she wanted to stay there, and I can fit pipe wherever, so.
So Mary, you should be getting like big bonuses, and if you don't, I've got this RV. Oh, you've got an RV.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your RV because I don't really have one. I have to rent one. We're going to go pick up your boss and bring him to the Christmas party. She's going to be staring out the window thinking about that in-ground pool.
Christmas vacation,
Yeah.
That's right. We already got the blueprints.
That's right. Christmas, we can come to your house then. We've been battling our pool this week. For some reason, it's just cloudy. And I think all the rain we had last week, like the big dumps of rain we had,
Right.
just made it cloudy. And so we've been battling that all week.
Yeah.
So I would love to have like a better pool. And we got a deck to put on ours. And I think we have a sand filter, but the plastic cap broke. Well, the manufacturer here in America sold out.
Of course
It's
they
been
did.
sold out for a long time, and I've looked online and can't find it.
Right.
Now, the European,
Now, what part broke?
the filter cap,
Okay, I mean, on the top or in the threads?
on the threads. Top I could
Yeah.
have fixed.
I was gonna say on the top, man. We grabbed some JB Weld.
Yeah, top I could have fixed. It's on the threads. It
yeah.
broke. It's just cheap, thin plastic.
Right.
But I can't find it anywhere. Now, the European one, I think in Germany or wherever, they have them in stock, but they don't ship to America.
Of course they don't.
So,
And the thing about those, you would think you'd be able to go, okay, this looks like a 4-inch. Let me go find a 4-inch union, and the threads would match. They don't. I swear to God, you could buy 5 brass unions, 5 plastic unions. None of the threads are the same.
I've bought 5 or 6 of them, and they come in, and I can even just look at them when they get there, and I'm like, yeah, that's not it. So one of the guys that comes to McAdoo's, he works down here at National Pool,
Okay.
and he said that I need to, he said it'd be best if I just order a new one.
Got a new filter.
Order a new one and then use the old one, just get the same one.
Right.
And then use the old one for parts.
parts.
And so we may end up doing that because the little filters that come with those out of ground pools,
Right.
they just don't filter good enough.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So what else went on with your week?
Not a whole heck of a lot. Just our son-in-law's parents got back from Alaska, so we picked them up and yeah, it's just
You had a little drama with that too, right?
No, they're dropping them.
Dropping them off?
Well, I didn't drop them off, but Mary dropped me off to grab their car so they didn't have to pay for 2.5 weeks of parking.
We do that when we go to Disney. We have someone come get our car for us.
And, but, yeah, apparently their brakes stick on occasion, which is no big deal when you know that's what happened. I'm driving down 581, that thing's stuck, and I can't get this thing over 35, and all of a sudden you're like, that doesn't smell right. Man, these poor people they're in Seattle by now. Right. I don't want to call and go, hey, before y'all get to Alaska. So I finally pulled it over. I called their son. He's a mechanic, and sure enough, he knew exactly when the phone rang. I don't even think it's full. I don't think it fully rang once. He answers and goes, lift up the brake. Lift up on the brake. What? Yeah, they forgot to tell you.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, no good deed goes unpunished.
Right. Well,
that's how it usually works.
and I was more scared than I was upset. I was like, I didn't want to make that call.
Right. Hey, I had to get a mechanic.
Love you.
Good Lord.
I killed your transmission. Sorry. So how about you?
It was uneventful. I mean, worked in the garden a little bit. Actually, I need to work in the garden a whole lot.
Yeah, me too.
I've got green beans and tomatoes, and tomatoes aren't ripe yet. Are yours? Do you have tomatoes?
No. Well, we've had a couple little ones, redden up and come out good.
Little cherries.
But I mean, I really don't even have many green ones right now.
Yeah, see, most of my plants don't. I do have some cherry tomatoes starting to ripen, but I mean, my beef steak ones,
right,
they're starting to grow now and get bigger, but they're still just as green as can be.
Yeah, well, and a whole lot of my issue or our issue was the deer at first. But I got the safety fencing up and all that stuff. Now apparently groundhogs are getting under, so I got to get those little stakes to get the bottoms done. But I mean, just after the deer come through and bite off the tops, it takes a little while for it to regen.
Yeah. We need to put them in my freezer since your woman doesn't eat deer.
Right.
They can come in my freezer. Right. But no, I had to go a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and Tuesday night I was sick, and then like Wednesday I was sick, and I felt better this morning, and I feel better now. But man, I was I don't even know what happened. I'm riding down the road with. Yesterday I picked Tegan up. Her last day of farm school for the year was I guess for the school year,
right?
Was yesterday, and so they had their little farmers market there.
Oh wow!
Which is pretty cool. So I went to the farmers market, and it's 100 degrees, and I don't feel good. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit down. You want to go shopping? And then her money.
and we're no longer built for the sunny days.
No, old. And I'm white, old. So I'm gonna burn.
Right.
But so. She did the little farmers market. She got they give out awards and stuff, and she was the chicken queen.
Nice,
because she knows she has like a couple chicken encyclopedias at home and how to speak chicken.
And y'all raise the chicken and I didn't know she had a how to speak chicken.
Oh
book.
Yeah, she's got a how to speak chicken book. And chicken fun facts.
I may have to borrow that how to speak chicken.
She got chicken shirts, but so she was chicken queen.
Nice.
So she's like, I'm chicken queen at home too.
Well, good.
And she'll tell you like there's two of them. She calls them what does she call them? Sneaky or mischief. Yeah, mischief. Or I can't say that word.
Mischievous.
Yeah. But they sneak out behind her. She goes in to feed them, and they'll slide in behind and get out of the run. I mean, dang, they got to run. If you look at most people's chicken, most people have backyard chickens. Their coops are not much bigger than this table.
Right.
I mean, they're small. Our chicken run is, I think it's 12. That's about 12 to 15 feet tall.
Right.
It's 20 feet wide and 8 feet. I mean, 20 feet long and 8 feet wide.
Right.
They had a disco ball in there. Right. What more could you want?
Well, I loved when y'all were building that. I was waiting to see the pictures go up on the wall and all that stuff.
Yep. And we still have them in there, but they're not motivated right now with this heat. We're getting about 4 or 5 eggs a day. But, it's
Hey.
not for us.
And 45 is 45.
Not enough to sell, but enough for us.
Yeah, because there's a guy across the street from us that has chickens. And, they've got a decent run. It's probably a little smaller than this room, than the studio. But I think they just kind of leave the door open because half the time you'll see them out in the field next to the run. But I haven't heard of them having any issues of them getting out to the road or anything. I guess they come on home and know where they're fed.
They do. It's weird. Like ours,
kind of like a cat.
Ours stay in the run for most of, from spring when I put plants in the ground to the fall when I pull them up.
Right.
Or when I clear the beds, because then I let them just have at it. And so typically from late October through the spring, I just let them free range.
Gotcha.
They just stay in the backyard and they can eat the bugs, and they do a really good job by digging through our garden beds, and so we don't have to till and all that. So
nice.
They
Even more
take
better.
care of ticks and bugs, and
Huh.
there's a
See,
benefit.
they take care of ticks.
That's right. There's a benefit, but so yeah, they just like to sneak out. We grow. I haven't done as much this year, but we usually grow them fodder, which is just a mix of grains. We grow it to about this tall,
Right.
kind of like you would wheatgrass.
Okay.
And so we
Right.
give them a couple of those a day, and
All right.
and then they get good food and all that other stuff. But yeah,
Well,
it's
good.
crazy.
Good deal.
But yeah, I think my week was pretty easy. Besides being sick, goodness,
Yeah.
I don't get sick ever.
And I probably got more sleep last night than I've gotten in the last week and a half, as far as just lay down and stay asleep, sleep. Oh yeah, that was.
See, I don't sleep. I'm max is 4 hours, if that. most of
Yeah,
the
no,
time.
I
That's
think,
not good. For
I think I got like 6.5, 7 last night.
Man,
I'm usually
that's
a
a
4
lot.
to 4.5 hour guy.
All right, so the latest news: Popeyes is open.
It is.
Popeyes is open, and they had their, what was it? Was it Tuesday? When did
They opened on Monday at 10.
Because we were here Monday, and you're like, "Hey, Popeyes opens at 10." Yeah, they had a line like out and around the building.
Right.
I mean, it's been needed over here for a while.
Oh yeah.
I think we need a Dairy Queen over here too. But
That wouldn't suck. But oh yeah. And by the way, if you're going to Popeyes and intend to go through the drive-through, for the love of God, if there is a line, come in, on the right side of Popeyes, not that little entrance exit from Electric Road, looking at it, left side. Don't come up that way, because, oh my God, that's
You're
a
gonna get
pain in the...
stuck.
Well, yeah, because now you got to make a left to get in line, and some people are nice, some people are
you got
not.
to try to get around. Yeah, it's kind of a weird,
to let
weird
you in,
angle to
yeah.
get in.
And while you're waiting to get in line, everybody behind you is irritated.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't change that entrance in there.
Yeah,
To where it has to go that way. I wouldn't be surprised
may.
if they wouldn't.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense to make that the drive-through entrance.
Right. But the chicken was great. So
Good. I'll call
I'll-
Casar and see if we can't get that entrance right on the.
yeah, I like that.
I've had Popeyes a couple times. I've eaten it there, and it was pretty good. And when I was in Northern Virginia, I've had it. I had it, I guess it was about 7 or 8 months ago. I got it from the one on Melrose
Okay.
and brought it home. It was probably it just wasn't hot because I drove so far to get it home.
Right.
So yeah, it was the food was good, but it was just not hot. That was our fault for it had nothing to do with Popeyes.
Right.
But that's awesome. And talking about hot,
Yeah, that heat advisory till Saturday.
yeah,
2 more days, guys. But, in our defense, take the heat advisory. July is really supposed to be the preheat month anyway.
Mhm.
August is really your month of, oh my God, it's summer.
Right.
And but I mean, June didn't seem to be as hot as June usually is.
No, we
To
have a
me,
mild
anyway.
spring too.
Yeah.
And that's probably why our tomatoes and peppers and things
Exactly.
haven't started really producing. I think we've gotten 2 peppers.
But we'll probably grow until October this year. So.
And I learned, I watch in my downtime, I watch a lot of like gardening things and stuff like that. But I watched this guy the other day. He does 2 plantings of tomatoes. He's in zone 7.
Right.
And he starts his tomato, he puts his tomatoes out like we normally do.
Right.
And then about this time, he starts new seedlings.
Huh.
And he says he'll have tomatoes through the end of October.
Huh. Hey, baby, I'm planting some new tomatoes when we get
So I
home.
might try it with a few tomatoes and see if that works. Because I know that
And maybe cucumbers. I don't know if cucumbers will do as
you
good.
could actually put cucumbers. You can
Good.
do squash and zucchini.
Because I think the groundhog got my darn cucumbers.
Mine are starting to grow. I've got one bed that's it looks like a jungle where we haven't had any rain and I haven't been home
To water,
to do everything. So the cucumbers are kind of growing into the tomatoes and they're all like, tangled same way with my green beans. I have 2 other tomato beds and I'd planted green beans on the trellis.
Right.
Well, they never took off. And so I was like, when it was time to put tomatoes in the ground, I was like, you know what? These green beans, they never took off. I'm going to put tomatoes
in here.
Well, I'll be dang. The green beans grew. So now they're all intertwined with the tomatoes.
Of course they do.
So now I've got to decide, okay, do I want to go ahead and knock off these green beans or do I want to figure out how to make that work? And I may bend the tomatoes back.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. But hey, it's a few hours worth of work to go through the different beds to get them right. I got 2 of them done the other day, but just getting them all staked up. But I have some of my beefsteaks are gigantic.
All right. So the Mountain Valley Pipeline can proceed.
Yeah, I think pipeline, and I know that it creates jobs, but also to take people's land and stuff like that too.
Right. I see both sides of the coin. I was a pipe guy for a while, so I'm going to be the first one in line to go, look, a pipeline is a lot safer than a lot of other ways to transport it, Eminent domain, I am completely and utterly against.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what you're building in it. I think the pipeline should pay you whatever you're within reason.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you're asking.
And if you say no, then they find a different way.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, to a point, I would be okay if you took fair market value plus 25 or 30%, and that's what the pipeline owes you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that doesn't sound fair to the pipeline, but
you're making money for years and years and years.
But you're gonna make the money. This is a one-time payment, unless you're gonna talk to me about residuals. Here's my one-time payment.
Our neighbor across the street, the pipeline goes through her mom's property that's been in their family forever. And
Right.
Yeah, it lives up in Floyd, and so that pipeline goes right through her property too.
Gotcha.
So, but it's
mine's green. It takes up a lot of space.
You what? Oh, no, okay.
Mine's green. It's distracting.
It's like, whoop. So yeah, the pipeline, and I think whatever Biden did, or Congress or something, or it may have been the Supreme Court. There was a motion made by the government that kind of opened up pipelines throughout, not even just the Mountain Valley.
Well, I think it was an energy bill, and I think part of the negotiations was with West Virginia,
Right.
and I think Manchin kind of demanded that certain pipelines had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
They still didn't get the XL, but the Mountain Valley
Right.
was supposed to still go on and all that.
Okay.
Not that I keep up with pipe news any.
Right. Not that you've ever done that before. Feds raised the rates again.
Yeah. And they told me how many months out of how many months, but it's just a lot.
It's the highest, I think they said, in 22 years.
That's the number I heard.
Yep, 22 years. It's the highest it's been. So, and their hopes are that it'll slow inflation.
Right.
But what I see is a bunch of layoffs. What I see is a bunch of families struggling.
Right.
You know, whether you want to make it about the inflation or whatever, and I don't know, well, it's inflation, but I think it's a lot of corporate greed in there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, the cost of goods for us has gone up significantly. I don't think the cost of goods has gone up that much for the big corporations.
Right. Well, when you get to, or not get to, when you purchase in bulk, when you're ordering that much, when you buy that much on a regular basis, people will cut you a better deal.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, we see it a lot here, and even with my renters, I see it with my renters going,
Right.
you know, they've always paid their bill on time, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'll be a little bit late this month.
Right.
And so I'm seeing it with my renters and stuff like that. I'm also seeing it with our buyers.
Oh, yeah.
Our buyers and even sellers, you know, or the buyers are kind of like, hey, I don't want to pay that much for a house.
Right.
And then their payments are crazy compared to what they were. And I don't think they'll ever get down to 2% again.
And until the economy straightens up, I hope they don't at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I know we want them to, but you know, let's have the adult conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They've been kept artificially low for far too long.
They have, absolutely. And unfortunately, the generation of buyers right now only know those low rates.
Exactly.
They don't know anything else.
Exactly. Well, but the thing, okay, here's the realtor that comes out of both of us from here time to time. I agree with you 100%. You know, more if there was more than 100%. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. All your friends have 2.5%, 3% mortgages, even have 4.5%. 4.5's looking good right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that being said, rent is 100% interest.
Yeah. That goes.
You're paying 100%
equity with it.
Exactly. You know, so keep that in mind when you're worried about what the interest rates are.
And I think if you compare the rent to, you know, the interest rates and to the payment. So if you look at a house that's over in, say, North County, I have one now on New Barons Court. So if you look at that house, it's 4 bedrooms, it's a colonial, it's gigantic.
Right.
Their rent is $2,000 a month.
Right.
That's a lot of rent.
Oh, it is.
But your house payment on a $250,000, $300,000 house is going to be about $2,000
a month now.
$2,500. Yeah. I mean, if you take out those taxes and the insurance part of it, you're looking at a $2,000 to $2,500 mortgage payment.
Well, and you know, I understand it's irritating, but when you're paying rent, you're paying the mortgage plus a little extra, A for processing, B for they've got to have a little money in the bank if your refrigerator goes out.
Yeah, or the roof leaks. Or
you know, or what have you. So you're already paying the mortgage. And I agree. It's not right. That sucks.
But I also think that we're the first people, and I just had this conversation with my buyer on Tuesday. Don't get a house just because you want a house.
Right.
We're grown up enough to have that conversation going, hey, this is probably not the house for you.
Right.
Or you also, people are always qualified for more than what they feel comfortable with.
Right.
And now she's like, well, I could go up. And I'm like, no. What are you comfortable with? Because you can go that high. Right. But then at the end of the day, you're sitting there eating ramen noodles living in your new house.
Well, and you know, I tell at least most of my buyers, well, I like to say all, but I'm sure there might have been one or two that I missed it. You know, when you go talk to your lender, tell them the monthly payment you're looking for. Don't, necessarily tell them the number. You tell them the monthly payment you're looking for, and they'll tell you the number.
Absolutely. And if you want to go higher, that's fine. But and if you have that agent, once that agent knows what you're qualified for, if you're not comfortable with that payment, let that agent know. And if that agent's not willing to be okay with that, get a new agent.
Well, that, and because
I remember
because the realtor in me wants to sell you whatever you want, as high as you want, da 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 da.
The dad and grandpa.
The dad, and he goes, the last thing I want to do is get you in this house that you just love, da 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 da, and in 2 years taxes are up, or insurance is up, or, this is fluctuated, and in 3 years, that SOB.
Or you see it.
I knew it was going to happen.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't try.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
But yeah, so we just have those conversations with it.
Yeah.
But good news though for Roanoke. Downtown Inc. said that people are enjoying moving to downtown.
Gotcha.
It's up
485%. Yeah.
In the less than 10 years.
Nice.
So, and I know they're taking a lot of those warehouses and a lot of the old banks and stores that were vacant and turning them into.
Well, and, I haven't been here all that long, comparatively, but I will say I like the businesses that seem to be going into some of those older buildings too, because it's just got kind of either very much an industrial feel on the inside or a very rustic feel on the inside, and it just for as built up as we think downtown is, it just kind of feels at home at a lot of the businesses down there.
It's good to see a busy downtown.
Yeah,
exactly. You go through some of the counties. Danville is like this. Parts of Martinsville. You go through the downtown, and a lot of smaller towns in the Appalachia area. They're ghost towns down through there.
Well, because we'll drive through somewhere and poor KK or Jonathan, I think that house is abandoned. And there's part of you go, God, I hope so. So.
Absolutely. Eureka Park over in Northwest, the residents got to weigh in. They're doing a $13 million renovation to the rec center and stuff over there.
Oh, nice.
So they got to weigh in on it. Now, of course, with the rising cost of construction materials and labor and stuff like that, that $13 million doesn't get them as far as it did.
As it did 2 years ago.
Yeah. But and so some of the concerns and some of the things is some of the residents want them to put the baseball field back. I think they said last year
something about bathrooms.
Yeah. Last year they did away with the baseball field and made it just a big open area. Okay. And they had the Juneteenth celebration there and things like that. So because they put baseball fields down the street somewhere, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
And the rec center there's only been open a couple hours a day since I think they said 2008.
Oh wow.
Only just a few hours a day. So they're trying to revamp that.
So sounds like they're looking for volunteers at Eureka Park.
And so they the bathroom was a concern because they're going to make them all gender neutral.
Okay.
And so their plans are, and make them however you want.
Right.
But their plans are is they're going to have like one big room with like the sink and things like that.
Right.
And then the toilets themselves will be in individual rooms.
Oh, okay.
And so you'll go over to this, or kind of like a changing room, but I guess the door will be ceiling to floor.
Gotcha.
And their concern is that they don't want issues.
Right.
With that.
Let's nip that argument in the bud.
Yeah, and I don't think it's an issue of them being just gender neutral. I think it's an issue of just they don't feel safe.
Right.
And there are people out there that have been abused and things and probably don't feel safe using the restroom.
Public restroom,
gentlemen are there or whatever.
Right.
I don't think it has anything to do with the political thing,
their
concerns. It's a safety thing that they feel. The ball fields, they would like to see Wi-Fi there, just because it's a rec center and there's no park in Roanoke City that has Wi-Fi, and maybe all of Roanoke. So they would like it to have a Wi-Fi connection, especially because it's in a lower income area.
Right.
That could benefit the community because they could just come to the park and connect to the Wi-Fi.
Right. Come to the community center.
That was a definite big thing. And then, of course, the cost of construction's gone way up, and they're not getting all that they wanted to. But I'm excited to see a rec center opening again there and moving forward with, for the community.
Right.
I think communities. I used to when I was I guess I was like 12 or 13. I lived off of 9th Street, and there was a little community center there for teens that they could go after school, and I would go there a lot.
Okay.
And play. Kept me out of trouble.
There you go. And I know we had mentioned that coffee shop and what the city council and all that stuff were doing with it.
It's
and how,
getting crazy now.
So, yep, sounds like the Grandin Court Neighborhood Council have ousted 2 board members, but at least one of the board members is saying it was an illegal vote, according to their rules. So we'll see what that turns out to be.
I'm sure it'll turn out.
You know.
For me, I would just be like, you know what, I'm out, peace. I'm out. You know, you voted me, I'm cool. But so we'll have to see if that ends up in court and actually cost that board money, community money.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not cost those people any more money. They got the co-op. It's the best place we've found to go trick or treating. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, they actually want people to come from outside of their neighborhood.
Great community.
You know, I love a lot about Grandin. I can't live that close to on top of people anymore. Mm-hmm. Not now that we've lived out on the outer skirts. You know,
I think the older you get, the less people you want to see. Too.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not that anybody needs to see it, but I was out watering the garden this morning with no shirt on, and Deacon's like, "You can put a shirt on, and neighbors can see you." I was like, "What?"
I'm trying to get them to pay for the privacy fence.
I said either they're going to like what they see and keep looking, or they're just, they're never going to look out the window again. Right. So it'll be up to them.
They got blackout curtains, not because of the sun.
That's right. The fat white man's out in the front yard. But, so Roanoke is known for our bike trails.
Yes, we are.
So I guess we're getting ready to move on up like the Jeffersons.
Oh yeah,
because they're rolling out the big kayak thing down at Wasena.
Okay.
So I think they're putting in some kind of big whitewater thing right through there.
Okay, nice.
That you can do your kayak.
Nice.
And so they have Tuesday at 5:30 at the Wasena Park Picnic Shelter.
Right.
They're rolling out the plans and having a community meeting. I guess for people to come in and kind of weigh in on what they think it should be or whatever.
Right. Is that why the Wasena Bridge Project got a?
It's not because the cost went up too.
Okay.
On the Wasena, but it's 2 years overdue.
Right.
Yeah. 2 years overdue.
Yeah.
But they so Roanoke Greenway's connects to Salem now.
Right.
Their goal is to take this thing, I think, from the other end of Salem down in Glenver all the way to the other end of Roanoke.
Oh, wow.
So I forget how many miles.
That's a whole lot of greenway.
They want it to be one whole big. In Northern Virginia, my friends lived up in Sterling, and they had some kind of bike route in their backyard.
Right.
And it went from Sterling all the way up, I think, into D.C.
Oh, good God.
And people ride the bike. And, you know,
right. Come on.
I'm going to have to get one of them electric bikes. Been trying to get a moped, so let me get one.
My mother-in-law's got one, and I say mother-in-law, no. My dad's wife has one. Man, those things are cool.
The electric bikes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'd have to get one. So I'm excited about it, and I think that should be a goal of ours, if it is connected, is us to start from one end and go to the other.
Okay.
It may have to be
with an electric bike.
Yeah. Scooters. Something.
Baby, I'll be back in August.
My goal is hopefully by when it starts to cool off a little bit, I want to do the Triple Crown too.
Right.
On the Appalachian Trail.
Gotcha.
But I think I'll do like one each day.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to camp out there.
Right.
I'm too meaty for the bears.
Right.
Our poor Smith Mountain Lake people.
Man, they just can't make up their mind, can they? It was okay, and we can lift it a little bit for Pirate Days.
About that money.
Oh, I would have too. I'm not. I mean, I personally not worried about a little algae, but
right.
You know, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. A little arsenic never hurt anybody.
No dirt, bugs, it don't matter.
You know, so.
You eat it and you'll know that it wasn't good. It kills you. Oh my gosh, I watched his interview.
Give it to Mikey, he'll eat anything.
Yeah, I watched this interview the other day with this news reporter, and she's talking, and she's like, "We reached out to the 2 people that died in the incident, but they were unavailable for comment."
You don't say.
Really? Yeah. At what point did she like, "That's a good idea to say"? Reach out to the 2 dead people, but they were unable for comment.
And I mean,
Aren't there
come
other
on,
people
come
that
on.
can go see to get that?
And there's an editor for this show.
Yeah. Live like us. We're like, oh,
Right.
can't pronounce words, talking about dead people.
There's an editor somewhere going, stop, make it stop.
Couldn't reach the 2 dead people. So, yeah, Smith Mountain Lake got the algae. They're calling it
got the
blackwater now instead of green algae or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, because I guess the testing's going to take like 3 weeks or a month or
So
something.
they've moved that advisory into almost to the end of August.
Right.
Just telling people to be careful to swim. And
Between like B12 and B20, 20, 24.
Seth should have been the only one to swim in the green algae.
Exactly.
So who knows? Smith Gap Regional Landfill, they're planning on converting their decomposing trash into natural
Energy.
gas.
Yeah.
Which is, I think they all should do that.
Well, I mean, I know out in Chesapeake there's a couple of them that do it.
I've been to a couple in Maryland pre-real estate life. I worked on conveyor belts at coal mines, rock quarries, steel mills,
Right.
wherever. We did a couple landfills up in Maryland, and they
Right.
did the natural gas. That's the stinkiest places to work on conveyor belts.
Well, yeah, and
Besides chicken
rendering plants, yeah.
chicken plants.
yeah. Ooh, God. I got shivers on that.
Yeah, not good. We did the poop belts.
Right.
The belts that kind of spin and kick the poop out from under
Right.
the chickens, and we did those belts.
We were in charge of the pipe underneath where all that goes into.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Everything comes together.
If you leave your truck window open, you end up with like 1.5 million flies in your truck.
Right. And of course I ordered KFC last night for lunch. You know. Yeah.
So kind of like on the lighthearted side, Saturday, July 22nd, there were kids having a lemonade stand
Okay.
to raise money for season tickets for Rail Dawgs.
Gotcha.
Well, the mascot for the Yard Dawgs showed up.
Oh,
to their-
Diesel?
Yep, showed up to their lemonade stand.
Oh,
That's the
awesome.
plan. They took pictures
Awesome.
together, and
I did not see that.
that's the community that we look for.
Exactly.
And hopefully the
Just
Rail,
one of the reasons I love the dogs.
that's right. Hopefully the Rail Dawgs slid those 2 kids some season passes.
I like to think.
I would think they
I
did.
like
They
to
didn't
think.
say it in the article, but I'd like to think they did.
Right.
The next one's on the bucket list.
Yes. And it really
I'm
should be.
that way.
Well, I'm from about. It would have taken me about an hour, maybe a hair over an hour to get there.
Okay.
But the Chincoteague Pony Crossing is a sight to see.
I bet that's
Yeah.
definitely on my list. I think one of my clients that sold a house to, I think she's been a couple times. She was a photographer and unbelievable, and she got a bunch of good pictures
Okay,
a
good,
few years
good.
ago. So
Yeah, my buddy that passed last year from cancer, he and his wife would go here
Okay.
and there, and I mean it's just it's a sight to behold, because I mean, especially out here, where if you see a horse, it's in a stable or it's loose, and the owner's looking for it. Nope, out there, I forget what kind of agreement was made, but I mean these. They call them Chincoteague horses, but
I think
they don't get
by
me.
the national parks, and
Yeah.
I think they're nationally protected.
And every year they cross over to the Eastern Shore.
That's, I'm in the Floyd group on Facebook.
Right.
And forever, you talked about a cow or a horse got out.
Right.
In the Floyd group, and there's forever post, hey, there's a cow here on Butterfly Street, or, there's
Right.
some pigs out here.
Well, a couple years ago, the youngest granddaughter that we have living with us, she just had an ungodly time trying to sleep at night. And we had our theories on why, but she legit just, we couldn't get her to sleep through the night to save our life.
Right.
And so we're up at, her and I are up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, somewhere in there. And, you know, I'm rocking her. And you've been to the house, the 2 front doors have glass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we hadn't put the curtains up there yet, and I look out, and as God is my witness, there's just a big old white, as white a horse as you've ever seen, horse head just kind of peeking in, looking at us. And I'm like, I gotta get a picture of this. Lay down, baby. I get a picture of it, and by the time I took the picture and put it back, when you look back out,
Gone.
no horse.
Isn't there a song about that? Gonna ride up on a white horse. There's a country song about that. I think,
Ride
Johnny
the
Cash.
white.
No, there's a Johnny Cash song about death coming around.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, it's that white horse.
But turns out my next door neighbor who does the Christmas farm apparently has a white horse. He came out like 4 o'clock that afternoon. Hey, you haven't seen a horse up here, have you? I go, white as can be? That's her. Yeah, she was here about 4:30 this morning. I don't know where she went.
Right. She had somewhere else to be. She had an agenda.
He goes, that makes sense. And they ended up, it was like 4 days before they found her.
Oh, wow.
You know,
She's hanging out with the monkey from Middle Mountain Zoo. They're terrorizing Grandin with the bears. God. Gus is on. He says, hello, Robin, JR.
there he is. That's who I've been waiting to hear from. All right, we're good. We can go now. Gus
Yep.
is here.
Gus is here. It's over. We're good.
You know, but some cool things to do tomorrow. Party in Elmwood, the Pizzazz Band at Elmwood from 5:30 to 8:30.
There we go. We're running at the bottom there. Salem Red Sox, they have games this weekend also.
Yep, and they're always a blast to go watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Love the
a fun time.
it is. If you can afford it, get you a box or, you know, rent like the Fenway Suite. Only way to watch a baseball game.
Mhm, if you can, sit wherever you can.
That's right. I mean, it's not unfun in the regular stands.
Now, I miss the old, and I know that this stadium's a lot nicer and the seats are nicer, but I miss the old stadium that's down the street.
Okay.
It used to be, I think it was a Buccaneer. I mean, it's been the Pirate. It's been several different names.
Right.
But they used to be down the street at that baseball field off of
Off on the left from Broadway. Or, it's not Broadway, but I forget.
where the old
But we
pizza
know.
den and stuff used to be.
Yeah.
So it used to be there.
Oh, okay.
And it was fun. But they had the big cement bleacher things that you just sit on the cement.
Okay.
And it was fun. It was more, I think it was more small hometown feeling
Right.
than
Right, then Fenway.
oh yeah. I love that stadium. But
Oh, yeah.
it was just kind of more personal, I think. And I don't even know that they had box seats or anything there either.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, but it was also, a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
because back home you got the Norfolk Tides, which is kind of like the Red Sox, but then they had a Peninsula Pilot. And I mean, it's not concrete, but I mean, just as wood of seats, bleacher seats as you. And I'm not even convinced the announcer has a booth. You know, I mean, it is just old school ball field.
He's standing out for
He's actually next to the ump. Was that a strike?
It's in the outfield. Now, downtown at the public library this weekend, free yoga.
Oh,
From
nice.
7:30, 8:30.
Nice.
Now, me being old, I don't bend like that.
I don't bend it. I don't bend
When
like
I
I
was
used.
young, I bent like that.
In my wrestling days, I was probably that flexible.
Oh, no, see me. I'm like, I've always been, I'm like, oh.
But I mean, I also had to eat a bunch of Twinkies to get up to weight at 98.
Right.
It was a long time ago.
That's from what did I say, 7:30 to 8:30.
Gotcha. And got the Children's Literature Lecture by Agent Chad Beckerman at Hollins University at 9 tomorrow.
Okay. I don't even know who Agent is. I probably should have looked and
Yeah, I'm not sure what agent means, but you know.
We can probably get there now.
But any but any children's literature, you know, I'm in. For the love of God, get your kids reading.
That's right. That's
You know.
right. Maybe he's agent with Men in Black or something.
Right. Oh,
They
yeah.
announced this week UFOs, or what they're calling them something else now.
Yeah, unidentified
UAL,
aerial
something like that.
UAF or UAL. Yeah, unidentified aerial something.
Yeah, so they announced
Yeah.
we have those, and I've already.
Well, it's one of those things. I remember growing up, I was always told that if they knew, they would never tell anybody because it would just disintegrate society. Religion wouldn't be able to handle it. Da la la la. You know, it would just blow people's mind. And I don't mean any harm. And I know sometimes I can go down a rabbit hole. But I believe, you know, I believe about a quarter, 3/8 of what I get into a rabbit hole on more often than not anyway. But isn't this like the 6th time they've told us UFOs are real? I mean, the government has told us UFOs are for real. Yeah, nobody even knows.
And I swear, I told Selena the other day, I was like, I think, you know, if you look back, you know, you got the X-Files, you got Men in Black. I was like, those are probably documentaries. That's just their way of breaking things to us. And if you
I was just Hollywood trying to get ahead.
I mean,
of
it
the
was
game.
kind
Gotta
of.
make
I
you
mean,
laugh
if you
about
look
it.
at our movies like that, though, how many times have you watched a movie and watched a movie and then 5 years later, 10 years later, something happens, you goes, oh, that's exactly the way that happened in that movie.
You say that. I don't know if you were a fan of The Blacklist, of which it just finished up a couple weeks ago.
I watched a lot of it years ago, but I haven't watched it.
Well, and I mean, the last 3-4 seasons, not near as much. But I swear the first 4 or 5 seasons, you'll watch a couple episodes and you're like, oh, wow, that's... And like you're saying, 2 years later, you're like, shit, Red tried to warn me.
Yeah, Blacklist. Which means it's probably been happening. We just
Right.
now finding out.
Exactly.
About it. And that's what's so crazy is, they've come out and said, okay, there are aliens. We've actually, I watched something today. It was like one of them died in 1952. I mean, he lived out his life on Earth.
Right.
And people don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
There's so much crazy stuff going on in our world right now and it's just bad that's not even the craziest.
Yeah. That doesn't even make the news.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, they're aliens, and people are like, okay. And they just move on with their day.
Told you, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, wasn't it like, I'm pretty sure it was during the previous White House. Weren't they all gonna invade Area 51 to prove?
Oh yeah, all these people were.
Now nobody cares.
Yep, all these people are gonna invade.
That's how crazy the world is.
It's I don't even know. We will stay away from those politics.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to be political.
No,
I was just trying to say,
I got all kinds of other stuff to say.
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah. They were all, massive.
Everybody was up,
The government's like, you come in here, we're going to kill you. Here it is.
Now it's just like $5 a head. Let's go.
They're holding open houses there. Like, hey.
Today's alien is the tour.
They've taken that business away from the local stores now. Right. Because they got the actual artifacts.
Oh, man. Come on. This is the one I use on vacation. Come on. Oh, you don't need to go through NASA. We're good.
Yeah, we got that. And evidently, in talking about NASA, evidently there's a big stink with that now. Some guy went to his local government and wants them to sue NASA because evidently there's footage out there with them doing spacewalks, and all of a sudden you see air bubbles come up.
Right.
Well, they're in space in the vacuum. Why are there air bubbles? So they're thinking that they're filmed underwater. There's also been, and they've shown those.
Well, they've been talking that.
They have, but there's also been some things with like green screen on the International Space Station.
Oh, really?
Where some of the harnesses, you can see the harnesses, where they're not really floating. And so he's trying to push his local government to go after NASA. I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, that's one of the weird news type things.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
That's right. Yeah. Sinklin Farms holding their third annual
Sunflower
festival. Yeah. I want to fly my drone there so bad. I actually want to fly the FPV one.
Oh, really?
The faster one.
Yeah.
Because it still has a 4K camera.
Right.
And so I reached out to him last year and didn't hear anything.
Got to be high enough.
Yeah. So,
can't come through clipping the sunflowers.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to. I would probably be 10 to 15 feet above them.
Right.
Because that's what you want, that drone to catch that top shot.
Oh, yeah.
As you come through. Gabby Barrett concert at Dr. Pepper Park tomorrow night.
6 o'clock tomorrow.
Yep. Y'all got to stop all this stuff because the restaurants are filling it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's great they're having this stuff.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
They're Friday nights. I'm bartender at McAdoo's with Ryan. And,
Right.
And I'm like, man, it is dead. We'll get that little initial rush before the concerts.
Right.
And then it's dead. And then I think he does get a little late rush.
Right.
But, yeah, it's good to see that businesses are thriving and people are out doing things. I think so. Red Sox, we already mentioned that. Red Sox all weekend. The Sinklin Farms is all weekend.
Okay. And you got a DIY paint class Saturday at 12:30 or 9:30 a.m. to noon 30 down there at Black Dog Salvage.
Mm-hmm. They have all kinds of. I think they did some kind of dog bowl painting or something a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did they?
They have all kinds of little events like that at Black Dog Salvage now.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a shame. I had heard about Black Dog Salvage when I was in Tidewater because they had a show on some channel.
TLC.
And Pop just absolutely loved it. I was doing enough construction. They were doing some cool stuff, but I do that every day. We're cool. I don't want to demo anything. Right. But when I found out I was moving to the area with Black Dog, I got to go in there. Da, 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 da. I've still never set foot inside their store.
That'll be a field trip Monday or Tuesday for you then.
Okay. I like it.
It's kind of like the Roanoke Wiener stand. We'll go to Black Dog and then we'll take you down to Texas Tavern. It's a date.
Right.
Because you've never been there either, right?
I have not.
Now, we won't get liquored up before we go in. So you'll get that sober taste of Texas Tavern.
Gotcha. Hey,
Tastes
baby,
so much better.
Apparently I'm getting tore up Monday morning because I've heard I shouldn't go there.
We'll have to do that Tuesday if we're getting tore up. Because Monday night I won't be feeling like bartending. So.
That's right.
Be like, no, I got to be drunk. Can't come in today. So I ain't trying to show up drunk to work either.
Nah. It's a bad look for a bartender.
Yeah, and I'm too old to come down like that.
Right.
So it's a day we're going to go. Next week we'll have some video of us there and
Yep, we'll go take us a field trip to Black Dog Salvage.
Tuesday field trip. It's on.
Like
anybody would like to join us, feel free to.
Yep. What'd you say about 10:30 at Black Dog on Tuesday morning?
And then we'll hit the Texas Tavern around lunchtime.
Yep.
Or shortly after. They're open all the time, but
right.
I ain't trying to eat breakfast there either.
I've heard their best stuff is at 2:30 in the morning though.
It is, most definitely.
But and then again on Saturday,
Gus has been to Black Dog several times.
Okay.
So what was your favorite part? I mean, they have all kinds of stuff, and it's always different. What did you like about going there? And we'll come back to it on there. I don't think they're not doing the TV show anymore, and I don't know that.
If so, I haven't seen it come up on any guides or.
And I haven't been there in years, so I don't know if. I mean, it used to have some really cool stuff in there, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, by the couple episodes I did watch, because you wanted to hang out with Mom and Pop a little bit, they look like they got a hold of some really good stuff. And I mean, by all means, they do great work with what they get.
Right.
You know, I didn't have a whole lot of interest before I moved here, and then every time I drive by it, I go, oh yeah, that's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my way somewhere, so I just don't have the time. Or
He says they have a lot of railroad stuff in there.
I will leave the credit card at home, baby.
Oh no, she can get that pool money ready.
Yeah, but I want to put it towards the pool.
Not really getting the pool money ready. But.
We got Vinyl and Vibe with Star City Soul Club. It's sidecar from 10 to 1 a.m. on Saturday.
Okay, nice. I'll have to send people down that way when we close. They're like, wait, where can we go?
Yep, Star City Soul Club. I'm not exactly sure where that's at, but I like that idea. Star City Soul Club sounds like it might be a Williamson.
Probably so. Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Williamson,
It's the first time I've heard of it. I do know that there have been a ton of little restaurants that have opened here recently. So maybe next week we can have a list of, hey, these are newly opened restaurants or even businesses. Right. So if you know of a business or a restaurant that's opened, tell us. We want to highlight them. We want to get the word out.
Right.
This is a great place to live.
There you go.
Now, I did forget, there's one thing, did it? I guess not. There was, I didn't have it on my list. We'll go back to some news. Go ahead.
Oh, wait. Are you sure we can do Black Dog Salvage Tuesday? What day are we supposed to
do the antique mall?
Do the antique mall.
We told them Tuesday, but the girl I was interviewing doesn't work Tuesday, so I'm waiting to see what other day she works.
Okay.
So
okay.
It may be like a Wednesday or Monday that we go there.
Okay. And I apologize if that was a spoiler. We're going to go take a look at the antique mall of Roanoke down on 460 this week.
And talk to them and kind of see what they have there. And
see what it takes to get a booth, or, just what.
Yeah, walk around and highlight. All those people are selling, they're local businesses selling their stock. Because I think you do buy booths there, and they just, I've got lots of friends that have their own little little booths in the different antique malls.
There you go. There you go. And maybe we'll have a little antique mall battle. We'll do Willow Tree one week. Mm-hmm. I'll go talk to those ladies. Yeah. Only because I can damn near walk to them. Is why I know they're there.
I don't know, hardly ever. There's not a lot of cars there typically.
There's
also one of those things that's not a shopping mall. It's like, let's go by the antique place to see what they have. So it's not like.
And I forget what it was before it was Willow Tree. I think it was still an antique mall, but I think it was under other management before. It's because they just went through and repainted everything.
Now that place down the road, shortly after you come out of off your road onto 220, it's got all that stuff in the yard.
Lost in Time?
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it.
Well, that's a lot of stuff in the yard.
That is.
I don't know why Roanoke County is. Are they grandfathered, or is it just zone business?
I think that is completely it, and hopefully neither she or anybody that knows her is watching. At the risk of sounding judgmental.
Oh, I worry about their stuff being stolen. I know they have like a they've got a little
gate there. It's a bigger pain in the butt to. Now, if you decide you're going to park at the gate and run off with it,
I want some of the flamingos that they have there.
Right. I want the gazebo. I want that metal gazebo. That looks real nice.
Maybe we start. But
I think the price. Last time I looked, it was like $3,000 for it, and I was like, $3,000 just seems a little excessive for this.
for that, yeah.
But yeah,
they have some neat stuff there, but I do worry about people stealing it and.
They're
I'm surprised nobody's wrecked into it.
Well, I can't speak to the wrecked into it, but I mean there are cameras all over that joint.
Is there?
Yeah.
I've never stopped in there, so
yeah. Well, I mean it's just that close to the house, right. and it's just that kind of site, for lack of a better phrase. So you got to stop by.
Some of those places I feel weird about because I don't know if they're selling their stuff or if it's just their stuff. Because I've gone to like some little stores and antique places and other little counties and stuff like that, like down in Hillsville and stuff.
Right.
And you roll up and you're like, hey, and they're like, can I help you? And that's happened to me.
Right.
And I'm like, well, is this a business? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. Well, and it's one of those things. I've been to Clifton Forge before, and you go into their antique store, and I think for $8 you could get a record player from 1932, and it works.
Nice.
You know, but that place, I'm pretty sure that's her stuff. By the prices on a lot of it, I don't think she's trying to sell.
She got a sentimental part to it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she took the time to paint some of that stuff, and she's got concrete. If she actually did the kiln work and all that, then
Right.
I can understand that.
Oh, I hear you.
Pop 2000 tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, BB Mark at the Dr. Pepper Park
Okay.
on Sunday.
Oh, LFO was going to be nice.
Yeah. So they got a big old. That's a big concert right there.
That is. Yeah.
So I think that's all for the week that happened. We have several field trips planned this week.
Yes,
Should
at
be-
least 2.
Yeah, should be exciting. Maybe 3 if we figure out something to do on Thursday, maybe.
There you go.
I know Tina asked me this morning, she goes, we doing anything with JR today? And I was like, well, no, baby, I was sick.
Right.
So I didn't want to plan anything. And then be like, hey, JR, I know your grandbabies are excited, but we're not going to make it.
Well, and, just this past week was kind of...
You had to prepare for the birthday party.
Hectic isn't necessarily the word, but it was definitely different. This week just wouldn't have been a real good week to do
Right.
a field trip, but whatever you and Miss T are up for next week, I think we're good because they go back to school the following Wednesday.
That's early. Well, we still, we
Right,
do
yeah.
year round.
Yeah,
So.
right.
But to get back in that groove of, to get back in that groove of getting up early.
Well, getting them up at 6, getting them,
That's rough.
it can be, but-
100%. Tegan's like, hey, I'll see you in the morning when I get up. I'm like, okay. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'll see you in the morning. And she's always up at like 7 or 8.
Right.
It's not like she's sleeping in until 12. I'm like, hey. Now, as she gets older, that may be the case. But as she gets older, she can independently study.
Right.
I'm like, hey, this is your work. And
Right.
get it done.
Right.
I don't care when you finish it. Just get it done.
I don't care when you finish it as long as it's today or tomorrow.
Yep, chicken queen. She's crazy. So, you have anything else this week?
Again, birthday party tomorrow and back to school clothes shopping this weekend.
2 tenants moving in this weekend. Showing this weekend, and then I have working in the garden, trying to get the garden back right.
Oh, actually, I take that back. Tomorrow we have first 1-year birthday party. And then on Saturday, we have a birthday party out in Wirtz. Somebody just turned 80.
Oh,
So, we're on both sides of the spectrum for birthday parties this week.
Selena and I were talking about that last night, because we're both fluffy.
Right.
And so we were talking, I said, did you know that fluffy people live longer than those super athletes?
That's right. My heart doesn't have to work as hard as it used to.
So I'm like, so we're okay. We're going to live forever.
Right. Well, and, you played sports in high school and everything. Here's what I'll tell you, and I'm not promoting either way. I've definitely enjoyed looking in the mirror a lot more when I was in shape.
Mm-hmm.
But they're one of my favorite things about not being as in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Fat don't cramp.
It does. Well, no, I cramp all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't know if it has to
That's
do
right.
with diabetes or what. But
Right.
yeah, I'll be laying in bed and all of a sudden I'll be like, ah!
Yeah, I know. I used to get all kinds of cramps anywhere. Back here. Just anything could turn into a cramp. Now, yep. If I get a cramp, It's in my toe or my calf. End of list.
My sports were where you had to eat to make weight.
Right.
I had to lose to make weight, and so
Right.
I don't miss those days to where it's like, hey, because I wrestled 135
Okay.
or 142,
Okay.
and so I had to lose weight to get there
Right.
every weekend. So one week I didn't make it, and the coach is going off. He's like, "What the heck did you eat?" I had a biscuit the last 3 days. One biscuit the last 3 days. I'm sorry, I'm overweight. I needed some little carb to keep me going. So I do not miss those days.
Oh, I hear you. I hear
But I
you.
do miss the smell of grass, football season and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't miss sitting in the grass when it's wet.
Gotcha.
That was the
Yeah.
worst feeling ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody wants
Yeah,
to-
very few things itch that bad.
Yeah, once you're in there, you're good. But so, you guys have a good week
Enjoy. Make good choices.
and be safe.